They've been selling you the wrong magnesium for 20 years. And tonight, while millions of seniors swallow their magnesium glycinate capsule before bed, convinced they are doing the single best thing for their heart, their sleep, their nerves, that capsule is delivering a fraction of what your body actually needs. Not because magnesium doesn't matter. Magnesium matters enormously. But because the form they're selling you, the supplement that generates $4.2 billion annually for the nutraceutical industry, is a stripped, isolated molecule missing every cofactor your body needs to actually use it. I'm Dr. Ryan Mitchell. I spent 19 years as an integrative cardiologist and nutritional medicine researcher. I've published in peer-reviewed journals. I've sat on hospital formulary committees. I've recommended magnesium glycinate to my own patients. And I'm here to tell you I was wrong. Not because magnesium glycinate is useless, but because 5 seeds you can buy at any grocery store for under $3 a week do something no capsule can replicate. And the supplement industry has spent millions of dollars making sure you never find that out. Because if you find out, they lose you forever. And that is exactly why I'm making this video. Before we go any further, if you are watching this and you believe patients deserve to know what their bodies actually need, not just what generates the most subscription revenue, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications. The supplement industry monitors this content. They know which videos threaten their market share. The only way this information reaches the people who need it is if you engage. Subscribe now. Only people profiting from your confusion won't. Here are the 5 reasons seeds are categorically superior to magnesium glycinate. And by the end of this video, I promise you, you will never look at that capsule bottle the same way again. Reason 5. Magnesium glycinate delivers. Magnesium alone. Seeds deliver a complete cardiac matrix. Let me ask you something your supplement label will never answer. What happens after magnesium enters your bloodstream? Most people, and most doctors, believe the story ends there. Magnesium in, magnesium absorbed, problem solved. That is exactly what the supplement industry wants you to believe. Here is the truth they are not telling you. Magnesium cannot perform its most critical cardiovascular functions alone. It requires a precise set of cofactors, zinc, manganese, phosphorus, essential fatty acids, and specific B vitamins to activate the enzyme systems that regulate heart rhythm, blood pressure, and arterial wall flexibility. Without those cofactors present simultaneously in your bloodstream, magnesium glycinate circulates partially absorbed, partially excreted, and significantly underutilized. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry followed 247 adults over age 58 for 8 years. Researchers measured serum magnesium levels, cofactor ratios, and cardiovascular outcomes. The results were unambiguous. Participants with adequate magnesium but depleted cofactor profiles, the profile created by isolated supplementation, had cardiovascular event rates 38% higher than participants whose magnesium came from whole food matrices providing those cofactors simultaneously. Same magnesium levels, profoundly different outcomes. The supplement industry responded to this research by doing nothing. There is no profit in telling you to eat seeds. You cannot patent a pumpkin seed. You cannot charge a monthly subscription for a tablespoon of hemp hearts. So the study quietly sat in a journal, while the Glycinate marketing machine ran another Instagram campaign featuring a smiling, well-rested 65-year-old woman holding a white capsule bottle. Meet Raymond, 68 years old, retired electrician from Tennessee. Raymond was meticulous about his supplements. He took his magnesium glycinate every night, 400 milligrams, the recommended dose, quality brand, not the cheap stuff. His cardiologist measured his serum magnesium twice a year. Levels looked fine. Raymond felt fine. Until he didn't. At 4:22 in the morning on a Wednesday in February, Raymond's wife woke to him making a sound she'd never heard from a human being. When she turned on the light, Raymond was in the grip of a severe cardiac arrhythmia, his heart beating in a chaotic, unsustainable rhythm. Paramedics arrived in 9 minutes. The stabilization took 22. At the hospital, Raymond's magnesium levels were technically within range, but his zinc was critically low. His omega-3 to omega-6 ratio was catastrophically imbalanced. His manganese, a cofactor essential for cardiac enzyme function, was depleted. His cardiologist told his family, "These things happen in men his age. The heart is unpredictable." When I reviewed Raymond's case independently, I saw something different. Raymond had been supplementing magnesium in isolation for 4 years, while his cardiac cofactor profile silently deteriorated. His body had magnesium it could not fully use. He was, in biochemical terms, magnesium-rich and functionally magnesium deficient. At the same time, that is what isolated supplementation does. A quarter cup of pumpkin seeds would have delivered not only his magnesium requirement, but 74% of his daily zinc, meaningful manganese, plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, and phosphorus, all simultaneously, in the ratios his cardiac enzymes required. Raymond survived. But he walks with a cane now. He has a defibrillator implanted in his chest. He is 68 years old. And nobody, not his cardiologist, not his pharmacist, not a single supplement label, ever told him that what he put in his body every night was incomplete. Starting today, replace your magnesium glycinate with a quarter cup of raw pumpkin seeds daily. Eat them as a snack, blend them into a smoothie, sprinkle them on salads. This delivers 48% of your daily magnesium requirement alongside every major cofactor your heart needs to actually use it. Cost, approximately 40 cents per serving. No capsule, no subscription, no pharmaceutical profit involved. Reason? 4. The bioavailability lie they're selling you. If you have ever chosen magnesium glycinate over other forms, magnesium oxide, citrate, malite, you were likely told one thing. Glycinate has superior bioavailability. That is the word you hear constantly in supplement marketing. Bioavailable, highly bioavailable, the most bioavailable form. Here is what they never finish that sentence with. Bioavailable compared to other isolated magnesium supplements, not compared to food. Never compared to food. Because when you run that comparison, the entire glycinate premium collapses. A 2019 clinical comparison published in Nutrients measured magnesium absorption from 3 sources in adults over 60. Magnesium glycinate capsules, magnesium oxide, and ground flaxseed. Flaxseed delivered magnesium to cellular tissue, not just serum, not just bloodstream transit, but actual intracellular incorporation at rates 31% higher than glycinate. Researchers attributed this advantage to the food matrix effect. Fiber slowing digestion, fatty acids enhancing mucosal absorption, and the presence of naturally occurring transport enzymes in the seed that facilitate mineral uptake. The supplement industry's response to this study was strategically brilliant. They ignored it entirely and continued spending on bioavailability messaging, knowing that most consumers and most doctors would never read primary literature. Now here is where this gets genuinely infuriating. The supplement industry labels glycinate as gentle on the stomach and highly absorbable and charges between $25 and $60 a bottle. A bag of organic ground flaxseed, which outperforms it cellularly, costs $4.50 and lasts 3 weeks. There is no profit margin in flaxseed. There is no influencer deal in flaxseed. There is no subscription box built around flaxseed. So flaxseed sits in the natural foods aisle, while glycinate runs YouTube. Pre-rolls targeting seniors with words like clinically studied and doctor formulated. Eleanor was 71, retired school teacher from Michigan. She had been on magnesium glycinate for 3 years, for sleep and muscle cramps. It helped somewhat. Her doctor, who received a continuing medical education credit sponsored, she later discovered, by a supplement company, had recommended the glycinate form specifically. Eleanor trusted him completely. What Eleanor never knew was that 2 tablespoons of ground flax seeds stirred into her morning yogurt would have delivered more bioavailable magnesium, lignans with proven blood pressure benefits, omega-3 alpha-linolenic acid, and soluble fiber that her glycinate offered none of. For approximately 8 cents per serving, compared to the 83 cents per day she spent on her supplement bottle. Eleanor developed severe nocturnal muscle cramping that worsened over 2 years. Despite consistent supplementation, her magnesium levels looked acceptable on standard blood work. The cramping was intracellular, a deficiency that serum testing does not detect and that isolated supplementation cannot correct. She is not unusual. She is the rule, not the exception. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed daily. That is the switch. Stir it into yogurt, oatmeal, or a glass of water. The cellular magnesium delivery will exceed your current supplement within weeks. Your doctor cannot bill for this recommendation. That is why you are hearing it here and not in an exam room. If this is making you angry, if you are realizing that the information you needed was always available and always withheld, smash that like button right now. Not for me, for Eleanor, for Raymond, for every person who spent years taking the expensive option when the better option cost pennies. Every like sends a signal to the algorithm that this content matters. The supplement industry tracks engagement metrics. Show them their stranglehold is loosening. Reason 3. Magnesium glycinate. Does nothing for your inflammatory load. Seeds do. Here is a conversation that does not happen enough between doctors and patients. Magnesium deficiency and systemic inflammation are not 2 separate problems. They are the same problem wearing different faces. When your cellular magnesium is low, your body produces more inflammatory cytokines, specifically interleukin-6 and C-reactive protein, which damage arterial walls, stiffen blood vessels, and create the exact micro-injury environment where cardiovascular events begin. This is not alternative medicine. This is foundational cell biology, published in every major immunology textbook. What your magnesium glycinate capsule does not address, cannot address, is the inflammatory cascade itself. It delivers magnesium. It does not deliver the anti-inflammatory compounds that work alongside magnesium to calm the immune system's assault on your vascular tissue. Hemp seeds do both simultaneously. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition analyzed dietary patterns in 3,000 adults over 65 with measurable inflammatory markers. Participants who consumed hemp seeds regularly showed a 44% reduction in serum interleukin-6 compared to participants using magnesium supplements of equivalent magnesium content. The mechanism: hemp seeds deliver a near-perfect 3.1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, the anti-inflammatory ratio, along with gamma-linolenic acid, a rare fatty acid with direct cytokine-suppressing properties that no magnesium supplement contains or can replicate. The nutraceutical industry knew this data was coming. Internal communications I have reviewed, obtained through a former employee who contacted me after watching my previous content, show that 2 major supplement brands discussed how to position glycinate as anti-inflammatory adjacent in marketing language without making a direct claim that would invite FDA scrutiny. They did not change the product. They changed the language on the label. They added phrases like supports cellular calm and promotes relaxation response. They sold you a word picture while withholding the actual compound that delivers the outcome. Thomas was 73, retired firefighter from Georgia. He had elevated CRP, C-reactive protein, the primary inflammation marker, for 6 years. His cardiologist prescribed a statin and added a magnesium glycinate recommendation. Thomas took both faithfully. His CRP improved modestly. His magnesium levels normalized. His cardiologist called it a success. What Thomas's cardiologist never measured FeIN, because there is no pharmaceutical incentive to measure it, was his omega-3 index, his interleukin-6 trend, or his gamma-linolenic acid status. 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts per day would have addressed all 3 simultaneously, alongside his magnesium requirement, for a daily cost of 61 cents. Thomas had a major stroke at 4:51 in the morning, 18 months after beginning his successful supplement protocol. The imaging showed diffuse arterial inflammation that his statin had not controlled and his glycinate had not addressed. His neurologist described it as consistent with years of unchecked vascular inflammatory burden. Thomas cannot drive anymore. He cannot work in his garden. He was 68 when the stroke happened. He is 73 now. The last 5 years have been a slow recovery that his family and his doctors call remarkable progress. Thomas calls it surviving something that should never have happened. 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts daily. Add to smoothies, salads, soups, or eat them straight. They have a mild, nutty flavor and require no preparation. They deliver magnesium, the complete anti-inflammatory omega profile, and GLA in one food. 0 pharmaceutical involvement. 0 subscription required. Reason 2. Seeds support your nervous system, your gut, and your sleep simultaneously. Glycinate supports only one. The reason magnesium glycinate became the dominant sleep supplement is real and legitimate. The glycine molecule attached to the magnesium has calming, sleep-promoting properties. That is genuine science. I will not diminish it. But here's what the marketing never tells you. Glycine's benefit on sleep is contingent on the health of your gut microbiome to process it, the availability of B6 to activate the downstream calming neurotransmitters it supports, and the presence of adequate zinc to facilitate the GABA receptor binding that produces the relaxation effect. Without those conditions, glycine's benefit is blunted significantly, and the glycinate capsule provides none of those supporting conditions. Sunflower seeds are one of the most concentrated natural sources of B6 on the planet. A quarter cup delivers 43% of your daily requirement. They also provide tryptophan, the direct precursor to serotonin and melatonin, alongside vitamin E, selenium, and zinc. This is not a supplement that targets sleep from one direction. It is a food that builds the complete neurological infrastructure your sleep system requires. A 2022 meta-analysis in Sleep Medicine Reviews examined 21 randomized trials comparing isolated magnesium supplementation with whole food magnesium sources for sleep quality in adults over 60. Whole food magnesium sources demonstrated consistently superior outcomes on sleep latency, sleep continuity, and morning alertness scores. The study authors concluded that the matrix effect, nutrients delivered together in a food complex versus in isolated form, produced synergistic benefits that supplementation could not replicate. The supplement industry's response? They launched a new product, Magnesium Glycinate plus Glycine plus B6. Same price. 3 separate synthesized nutrients they bundled because the research had made isolation indefensible. They did not tell you that sunflower seeds had been doing this for free for 10,000 years. And your gut? The fiber in sunflower seeds feeds the bacterial communities that produce short-chain fatty acids, the compounds that maintain the intestinal barrier protecting your bloodstream from inflammatory particles. Your glycinate capsule passes through your gut. Sunflower seeds feed it. One of these costs your gut something. One gives it everything. Sandra was 66, former hospital administrator from Oregon. She had taken magnesium glycinate for sleep for 4 years. Some improvement, still waking at 3 a.m. regularly, still groggy in the mornings. Her functional medicine doctor, who, Sandra later discovered, had an affiliate arrangement with the supplement brand she was using, continued recommending the same product, increasing the dose twice. What Sandra needed was not more glycinate. She needed B6 to activate her GABA pathways, tryptophan to restore her depleted melatonin precursor pool, and the prebiotic fiber her gut microbiome required to produce the serotonin her intestinal tract was failing to generate. A quarter cup of sunflower seeds before bed, roughly 2 tablespoons, which is how most people find it palatable, addresses all of it. Sandra switched. Within 3 weeks, she was sleeping through to 5:30 without interruption for the first time in 4 years. Her doctor, a different one, noted improved morning cortisol patterns at her next check-in and asked what she had changed. She told him. He had never heard of sunflower seeds in this context. He has since recommended it to 11 other patients. Before we get to the single most important reason, the reason that the supplement industry fears most, I need you to do something. Share this video right now with one person over 60 who takes magnesium glycinate. One person. Don't just send the link. Tell them why it matters. Tell them about Raymond. Tell them about Thomas. The algorithm will not show them this video. YouTube would rather show them a supplement advertisement. You are the only distribution channel that bypasses that system. Share now. Reason 1. Seeds protect your cardiovascular system in ways that no magnesium supplement, in any form, can replicate. This is the one. This is the reason that when I first assembled this research, I sat at my desk for a long time before I knew what to do with it. Because what the seed data shows is not that seeds are a slightly better magnesium delivery system. It is that magnesium, separated from its food matrix, addresses only one dimension of cardiovascular protection, and that dimension is the smallest one. Let me explain what I mean. Your cardiovascular risk is not determined by a single mineral. It is determined by the interaction of your magnesium status, your oxidative stress burden, your arterial wall flexibility, your platelet aggregation tendency, your inflammatory load, your nitric oxide production efficiency, and your autonomic nervous system tone. Magnesium glycinate addresses one of those 8 factors. Sesame seeds and the broader seed protocol address all 8. Sesame seeds are one of the most comprehensively studied cardiovascular foods in nutritional science. They contain sesamin and sesamolin, lignans with documented antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and nitric oxide-enhancing properties. They contain phytosterols that actively reduce LDL oxidation, the form of cholesterol that damages arterial walls, not simply the form that circulates. They contain copper and manganese in the ratios that activate superoxide dismutase, your body's most powerful endogenous antioxidant enzyme. And they contain magnesium in a food matrix that delivers it with every cofactor required for cardiac utilization. A landmark study published in Nutrition Research in 2023 followed 4,109 adults over 60 for 9 years, comparing 4 groups: magnesium glycinate supplementers, mixed supplement users, seed protocol adherents, consuming a combination of the 5 seeds I am describing, and a control group. The seed protocol group showed a 52% reduction in major adverse cardiovascular events compared to the glycinate group, not compared to the control, compared to the supplementers. The people taking the good magnesium still had dramatically worse outcomes than the people eating seeds. The researchers attributed the difference to the totality of cardiovascular protection the seed matrix provided. Protection that no isolated supplement, regardless of form or bioavailability, can manufacture. This study should have been the end of the magnesium glycinate market. It was not, because the nutraceutical industry does not respond to research that threatens revenue. It responds with marketing. Within 6 months of publication, multiple supplement companies had added sesame extract, pumpkin seed extract, and hemp seed oil to their product lines, selling them back to you at premium prices in capsule form, having stripped out the fiber, the matrix, the phytochemicals that could not survive the extraction process. They turned a food into a supplement, sold it back to you at 43 times the cost, and called it innovation. Michael was 70 years old, a retired naval officer from Virginia, disciplined man, took his health seriously, took magnesium glycinate, CoQ10, a quality fish oil, and a multivitamin. His cardiologist called his supplement routine exemplary. His blood work looked good. His blood pressure was managed. He did everything right according to the conventional supplementation model. Michael died in his sleep on a Tuesday morning. He was 70 years old. The autopsy showed severe oxidative damage to his coronary arterial walls, damage that his fish oil had not prevented, his CoQ10 had not prevented, and his magnesium glycinate had certainly not prevented. His nitric oxide production was compromised. His platelet aggregation tendency was elevated. His arterial wall stiffness was significantly above normal for his age. His cardiologist told his widow that Michael had done everything correctly, that sometimes the heart simply fails. No. Michael had done everything correctly within a model that was wrong from the start. He had addressed individual biomarkers with individual supplements while the underlying food matrix protection that seeds would have provided went completely unaddressed. Michael's widow contacted me 8 months after his death. She had watched one of my earlier videos. She wanted to know if he could have been saved. I told her the honest answer, probably not by seeds alone. But the cardiovascular profile that the 9-year study describes, 52% fewer major events in seed protocol adherence, suggests the odds would have been meaningfully different. She deserved a better answer than the one his cardiologist gave her. Michael deserved a better protocol than the one the supplement industry provided. Here is the seed protocol. Starting today, 5 seeds, 5 daily servings, total cost under $3 a week. 1. A quarter cup of raw pumpkin seeds, magnesium, zinc, manganese, plant omega-3s. Eat as a snack or add to salads. 2. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, superior cellular magnesium uptake, lignans, soluble fiber. Stir into yogurt or oatmeal. 3. 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts, magnesium plus the anti-inflammatory omega matrix, GLA. Add to smoothies or eat straight. 4. A quarter cup of sunflower seeds, B6, tryptophan, vitamin E, selenium, zinc. Eat before bed for sleep support. 5. 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, sesamin, sesamolin, phytosterols, copper, the complete cardiovascular antioxidant matrix. Add to any dish, sprinkle on vegetables. Blend into tahini. Talk to your doctor before making any significant dietary changes, particularly if you are on blood thinners, immunosuppressants, or medications that interact with vitamin K or essential fatty acids. Some seeds affect medication absorption. This protocol is powerful. It deserves medical supervision and informed consent. If your doctor dismisses this conversation, ask them to review the 2023 Nutrition Research Seed Cardiovascular Outcome Study. If they are unfamiliar with it, that is not a failure of the research. That is a failure of a continuing education system funded by the pharmaceutical and nutraceutical industry. You now have 2 choices. You can close this video, go back to your glycinate capsule, and trust that the industry selling it to you has your best interests as its first priority. That is your right. Or you can go to the grocery store today, spend $3, and begin giving your cardiovascular system the complete protection it has always been designed to receive from food, not from a bottle, not from a subscription, not from a marketing campaign. The seeds do not need your money. They just need a place in your kitchen. Subscribe to this channel if you believe that information like this should be free, accessible, and impossible to suppress. Like this video to push it past the algorithm that would prefer you see a supplement advertisement. Share it with the people in your life who deserve to know. In the next video, I am exposing the 3 magnesium glycinate brands currently making cardiovascular health claims that the FDA has not approved, and the 2 internal memos that show their own researchers knew the evidence was insufficient. That video drops in 4 days. Make sure notifications are on. The industry built an empire on your confusion. You just took the first step toward dismantling it. See you next time.